out. Okay, so actually I felt the difference after the first time I used it. It was not some kind of intense change. It was something really subtle, but like kind of a slight calm. That's not why I kept using it. More interesting things happened in a week or two after that. So I used it while working, before going to sleep, and while resting. So at least 3 times, sometimes 3 to 4 times, sometimes more than 5 times. Okay, so one time is 15 minutes, and recommended session is at least 1 session a day, so at least 15 minutes, and I did it at least 3 sessions, so way more than the minimum recommended, but I just liked how it made me feel, and that's why I kept using it. The first day, it's not like I felt some kind of a big difference, no, but it was like something like calm, easy feeling, like a little bit of calm. Then the second day, like the second, third, and fourth day, is I noticed my sleep, the way I fell asleep changed. Now I could fall asleep almost like right away, like a couple of moments after I got in bed, and usually it would not happen unless I was very, very tired. So usually I would need at least like maybe 5 minutes. I would need to do like palming and different techniques to fall asleep, but it was not my major issue. I was able to fall asleep before, more or less pretty good, but Centropix Kloud did up the process. Now then, what I noticed maybe like in the first week is that my stress, as if it almost didn't exist. Okay, usually what I drink chamomile for like to manage stress and occasional anxiety. It's not like I had like extreme stress before or like extreme levels of stress, no. But I would drink chamomile tea in order to kind of manage that. But right now, because I felt calm, I kind of didn't feel like a need, so I just quit buying chamomile. So it's pretty awesome. Then something is very, very interesting. So I lived for 3 months, almost 3 months this winter in a downtown Calgary. Usually in the past, when I go to downtown, I get very like tense, and I'm very sensitive to electromagnetic frequencies. Obviously it's a high concentration there everywhere. You can borrow it with Wi-Fi, cellular connection, and literally after I visit downtown, which I always avoided, unless I really needed, I didn't go to downtown. But anyways, if I ended up in downtown, in just like in 20 minutes, I would feel as if like I'm charged, like with some kind of electricity or like static, and my body just felt like charged, literally charged, and like my body felt tense. I needed to go and I needed to leave. I felt an urge to leave downtown as soon as possible, to go to nature and actually lay down on the ground to release that charge, to get you to neutralize that charge by laying on the ground. That's how it always was. But this time, something different. I literally lived in downtown for almost 3 months, and I didn't feel it. Okay, I'm not sure. Maybe I thought actually maybe I am not as sensitive anymore to EMF. I just didn't feel it, but I did need to go to like nature a couple times a week to feel like well. So it's kind of not a replacement for nature. It kind of supplements your already lifestyle. It does, but it does not. Cloud does not replace nature, because I did need to go to nature. How I know that Cloud probably contributed to that is because I gave Cloud to somebody to try for a couple days, and I didn't use it. And so I actually felt, I'm not sure why, maybe it was a placebo, maybe something else, but I felt kind of depressed and very like off, like after I didn't use it like for about 24 hours. I felt off, and I felt like kind of even depressed. I don't know, maybe placebo, but just that's what happened. Next, focus and concentration. Usually I don't have a problem focusing, let's say if it's work, but what I do is I visualize for different purposes. I would say visualization requires more focus than the regular work on the computer, way more focus. And I had trouble visualizing if, let's say, I'm in the city, not in downtown, but in the city. Before I get into that zone where I can visualize, sometimes 10-15 minutes can pass. And with Kloud, I can do it almost like in a couple minutes. I can start visualizing in a couple minutes. And yeah, that's pretty amazing. Usually in nature, I can visualize pretty fast. But I'm not always in nature, so I visualize always on Kloud. It's just amazing, and it just, the way it makes you focus, at least me, it's just amazing. It makes you visualize whatever you want just in a couple minutes. You don't even go back, you visualize and you visualize and you visualize, and you don't get interrupted by random thoughts that come to your mind. One of the most kind of direct benefits I experienced is physical benefits. For example, if I did some new exercises and I would use Kloud right after exercise, I would not have that soreness. Now, I tried once not to use it right after the new exercise, and I had soreness. And I just used it because I didn't want that soreness, and so pretty much whenever I used it, there was no soreness. Whenever I didn't use it and did a new exercise, there was a soreness. Yeah. Also, this period, some discomfort. In the last month, I was actually sitting more on Kloud, and almost maybe 4 or 5 hours. Not 4 or 5 hours, maybe 4 or 5 sessions. Sometimes I forget to kind of restart because it's 15 minutes off, 15 minutes on. It turns off every 15 minutes. So, and I didn't feel any discomfort or pain. Usually I would feel something for at least 1 hour, some pain or discomfort. And this time I didn't feel anything. It was it was easy. I'm almost I just didn't even notice this, periods this time. The other thing is, I go to bed late, I feel fatigue. I feel mental fatigue, almost heavy head and tense head, and my day not very productive at all the next day. But when I use Kloud, I can be almost as productive. Maybe I'm not good at visualizing that particular day, but I can still do things. And usually I'll be really bad. I will be just getting through the day, waiting until the evening. But this time, I think 80% of that head discomfort and head tension is gone. Even if I went to bed really late. I go now, are these placebo effects? I don't know, maybe to some extent, but what it makes it kind of stand out is the consistency of results. So every time I use Kloud for something, whether it's visualizing, whether it's tense head, heavy head, or stress, I would have a benefit. I would have a result. I would feel that it got better. Okay. So I think it's consistency of results. Now, it's not it's not you use Kloud and you feel an intense change right away, or you feel something is working. It's not heat. You don't feel it, almost don't feel it. The only way you can feel it is because your circulation gets better. Your microcirculation gets better, so you might feel a little bit warmer. But that's what I felt at the beginning, the first weeks of using Kloud. But after that, I didn't feel. Right now, I don't feel any physical sensations from Kloud. So you shouldn't feel it at all. So it's kind of more things start to quietly work better, in the background, better and faster. Now, is Kloud for you? Cloud is for you if you value subtle changes, and if you don't want waiting for long-term results, more long-term solid results. And let's say if you're looking for something like for a quick fix, for something that is like instant, probably it's not for you, because you're gonna miss what Cloud actually does, because you won't get to it, right? You would want something very quick, which Cloud kind of doesn't do. PEMF, it's actually therapy, pulse electromagnetic frequency therapy. It's a therapy. So therapy usually means results happen long term. This is not a quick fix. Now, if you do try Cloud, try it for at least 2 to 4 weeks. And I'm gonna leave the link below. You can explore